Hey, teacups, it's your girl Monica. Welcome back to the All About the Tea channel. Joining me this evening is my fabulous co-host Wiley of The Wiley Show.
Hi.
Hey, Wiley.
Yes, it's good to be back.
Okay. Yeah, finally, Friday's almost here. We're almost there, Wiley.
Yes.
We're almost there. We also have a very special guest joining us this evening. Wonderful human being, Buffy Purcell. You all know her from my daytime panel, but she's also a fintech expert, if you didn't know, and financial advisor to the stars. And former Married to Medicine star, Buffy Purcell. Hey, Buffy.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Yeah, I'm so excited and happy to have you on the panel this evening.
Yay.
Yay, yay. So July is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month, for those that don't know. And to help us kick off the month is Buffy. As you know, Buffy is a financial expert. So she's here to educate us on financial literacy as it relates to financial mental health.
Yes, honey. everybody wants to talk about a budget when they talk about financial literacy. And I say it's a lot more than just math. We need to deal with that financial PTSD of folk cash app requesting money from you every 5 minutes, right? Right? I mean,
Right.
the trauma of every day getting that request for $20 for gas is too much. And it fails us from our plans. And seeing your parents, struggle financially, and then you grow up and you think that that's, what life is supposed to be for you, and it's not. So we're about, starting with the mental health component, and then we'll get to a budget.
Right. We also gonna be spilling some tea, so don't worry. I mean,
yeah. We ain't just talking about it.
So also on the agenda tonight, we are talking Britney Spears' shocking court appearance today. She said she's traumatized. Tory Lanez feels like he's under attack. Kevin, let me see who else I have here. Karlie Redd was dragged today by Wendy Williams. Wendy is saying that Karlie is too old and dusty to have any entanglement in the sheets with Lamar Odom. She's not here for it. Why don't we go ahead and do the roll call before we dive right into our topics of the evening?
Roll call, it's a roll call. Tune in and let us know what's up with y'all. We want to hear what you got to say. Teacups, turn them up, what you sipping on today. Roll call, it's the roll call.
All right, Heidi Black, I see you. Hey, boo. Fun to be blonde, NYC. Shout out to you and all the mods in the building. Angie B, Claudette. Damn it, Janet. Love that name. Dukes, Sassy76, Misbehaving. Hey, boo. Low Key, Sassy76. Rhonda, Lisa Thomas. Vanessa Camigate. Hey, Vanessa. Og Leo. Ozzy, shout out to you, Ozzy. He says he's been waiting for you, Wiley. Toy, Cooch LaCream, hey boo, T-Ness, Lisa Thomas, Betty Gaffins, hey Betty, how you doing? Deborah Mitchell, Linda Dorsey, Mo Media, hey Mo, Lou Slide, welcome everyone. Thank you for being with us. You could be anywhere, but you are here with us. Before I dive into the tea, Buffy, do you want to take the floor, or should we? Well, we are talking about mental health too, so maybe I should just dive into this Britney Spears tea.
Yeah, go on and get into the tea, honey.
Oh, Britney. Everyone's so concerned about her and everything going on with her. She appeared in court today, and for the first time in a very long time, spoke about her current situation under conservatorship of her father. And she says, hold on here, I'm getting a little feedback. I'm gonna just put everybody on mute. She says that she's been drugged, compelled to work against her will, prevented from removing her birth control device over the past 13 years. And as she pleaded with the judge to end her father's legal control over her life. So that took place today. And I quote, she says, "I've been in denial. I've been in shock. I am traumatized. I just want my life back," is what she told the judge. And then she went on to make a very lengthy 24-minute speech. And they said she was talking so fast, the judge had to stop her and ask her to slow down so that the court reporter can keep up with her. And let me just give you a snippet of the speech. And I quote, "I just got a new phone and I have a lot to say, so bear with me. Basically, a lot has happened since 2 years ago. The last time I wrote all this down, the last time I was in court. I will be honest with you. I haven't been back to court in a long time because I don't think I was heard on any level when I came to court the last time. I brought 4 sheets of paper in my hands and wrote in length what I had been through the last 4 months before I came here. The people who did that to me should not be able to walk away so easily. I'll recap. I was on tour in 2018. I was forced to do, and then my management said, if I don't do this tour, I will have to find an attorney." Then that's when the judge asked her to slow down. And she said, "Oh, of course, yes, okay, I'll slow down. The people who did this to me should not be able to walk away so easily," right? So she repeated that again. And then she went on to say, "When I came off that tour, a new show in Las Vegas was supposed to take place. I started rehearsing early, but it was hard because I had been doing Vegas for 4 years and needed a break in between. But no, I was told that this is the timeline and this is how it's going to go. I rehearsed 4 days a week, half of the time in the studio and half of the other time in Westlake studio. I was basically directing most of the show. I actually did most of the choreography, meaning I taught my dancers my new choreography myself. I take everything I do very seriously. There's tons of videos with me rehearsing. I wasn't good. I was great. I led a room of 16 new dancers in rehearsals." And then she goes on to say, "It's funny to hear my manager's side of the story. They all said I wasn't participating in rehearsals, blah, blah, blah." She just goes on and on about these rehearsals. Why don't I just stop there? You guys get the gist of it. Basically, she's saying she was traumatized. She wants to come off of birth control. She has this boyfriend. He's a hottie. His name's Sam. And I guess they want to have a baby, but she's not allowed legally to come off of birth control. Wiley, what are your thoughts? You're on mute, Wiley.
All right, I took it off. All right, my thoughts is it's very unfortunate that she was even on this court order because I think they said she had dementia, and then some doctor was saying that she was mentally unstable. This woman went on tour in Vegas. She had another tour, so obviously she can take care of herself. But she is a victim of the machine, of the paparazzi, a victim of Hollywood. I don't believe the court should have put the power to her to the dad. I do temporarily. They should have had somebody over her to make sure she was okay. But once she got through that, I think they was able to lift that. They should have lifted all of that. It's really unfortunate to see her have to get permission to get off birth control, to have permission to get married. I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's a young woman. She's not in her 80s and her 90s. She's healthy. I just believe she had a dark spot, mentally going through because of the pressures of Hollywood, but she could take care of herself. I do believe that.
Right. Well said. Once upon a time, it was needed, right? We all saw the meltdown a few years ago where she was smashing the car with the umbrella and shaved her hair off. So at one point it was needed, but it's been 13 years.
In 13 years.
It seems like she's managing her mental health pretty well from what I can see looking in from the outside. What are your thoughts, Buffy?
I don't think it was no darn mental health 13 years ago. If you was an indentured servant since you were 6 years old, you would shave your head and act a fool too. I mean, she's literally been an indentured servant since she was part of the Mickey Mouse Club. Her parents have been living off her. It ain't just the daddy. Jamie Lynn Spears, child.
Right.
Worse.
Right? That it's too much drama. And the fact that her voice is totally different than what we are used to. Like they made her talk like a child her whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Like to hear her real voice was startling to me and also very sad. Not to be able to see her children, not to be able to use her own money, not to be able to go outside without permission, not to be able, just they treat her like she's a child. But like Wiley said, if she could go do all these tours, then I think she could have a little bit of her money, have a car, have her own cell phone, be able to go outside and be like a normal human. They just wanted to control her money. Britney worth some good coin, and these people were like, she ain't stopping working because we've gotten used to this lifestyle.
Good point. She's 39 years old now. Maybe she was using a little bit. Oh, sorry. Maybe she was using. Oh, what's that feedback? Huh. Is it still there? Oh, here we go. I'm back. Maybe she was using some substances back then, but you're right. She's been financing the whole entire family for so long. At this point, she's a slave, pretty much.
Absolutely.
And everybody's eating off of her.
Absolutely. And what gets me, I do believe the judge should have a heart. Clearly, they just have a psychiatrist to talk to. I just don't understand it took this long for her to be on the conservatorship. This is sad, right? But what people will go at length to just take control of your money, they would do it. But I do believe that her fans, the public, is applying pressure. And I'm glad that we're now having this conversation. Even Justin Timberlake, and he played a part of her having a mental breakdown because he pretty much threw her under the bus. But he even came out and said she don't even need to have that court order. She needs to be free. I do believe Britney Spears needs to be a free woman. She's young. She should be able to have children. She should be able to be married. She should not have to get to call her daddy and say, "Daddy, can I get married? Can I have a baby?" Really? And she's 39 years old? No.
She can't dance, honey, and she can't work, and she can't sing. So that's why they ain't letting her pregnant.
Right. Oh my gosh.
It's sad. It's really sad.
It is. Even the baby daddy Kevin's eating off of her.
Of course, because they got him babysitting.
Everybody's in on it. They need to free that girl, free Britney. I saw the documentary. I was just appalled, and it's sad. It made me cry, really and truly. It's time for them to stop this mess now. What justification do they have? She's living on her own. She takes care of herself. She's not having outbursts. She's not in Target shoplifting, right? Driving drunk, doing all kinds of crazy things. She's 39 years old. Free Britney. Free Britney. It's very, very sad.
Giving that ex-husband $35,000 a month, child. It's child support. What's his name?
Kevin Federline.
Kevin living that good life, boo.
Good life. Yeah. And he's taken her back to court several times to increase the child support.
Several times. Yeah.
Just eating and living off of her. It's very, very sad at this point. Oh my gosh. Okay, so moving along. Are you familiar, Buffy, with Tory Lanez?
Kind of.
He's the rapper from Toronto that shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he got into a car accident today, I believe, Thursday morning. Yeah, and he was in an Uber, and his Uber collided with another car, and he's saying that he thinks it's a setup.
Setup from who?
Child, inflated ego. Somebody's after him. They're after him. He feels it was a setup. I'm going to share a post on my screen from the Shade Room. Let me go ahead and share my screen so we can hear what he has to say. Let me pull this up here. Can y'all see that?
I can see it.
Okay. Let me adjust the sound so you can actually hear it. All right, here we go.
Almost just died. We got in a car accident in the Uber. Look at that. Oh my gosh, bro. He's almost just died. We got in a car accident in the Uber.
He almost died.
Look at that.
It almost felt like someone new to crash into us. Strange. Listen, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they put in that weed in California. I really don't, but stop it, okay? What are your thoughts, Wiley, on Tory thinking it's a conspiracy? They're
I
after
don't think it's a conspiracy. I think he's paranoid because he did shoot Megan, and justice for Megan Thee Stallion. I don't think nobody is after him. I do believe that we should wait till the investigation play out for him to come out and say, "Oh, I think I was targeted." No, he's trying to throw a dig at Megan. Once again, trying to re-victimize that woman. I do believe he needs to be found guilty, and he needs to lay off probably the drugs and just lay off whatever he's taking. But again, no one came out and just said it could have just been a soccer mom ran a red light. We don't know. We don't know all the details. But for him to say, "Oh, I was targeted. I think that they did this on purpose," like no. I was targeted. You shooting Megan in her pinky toe. That was on purpose. That was targeted.
Oh my goodness, Harlem Nights, not in the pinky toe.
Not the pinky toe.
Buffy, so you just think, what do you think? That he's just paranoia, just making this stuff up?
Well, he made the shade room, so maybe it's just a PR stunt. I don't know. Like he turned a negative into let me get in front of people. You know,
right? Right.
Just to get headlines and get the sympathy for me, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. Listen, people will do anything for fame nowadays too. Anything for headlines. I'm in the headlines. I don't want to be in the headlines. Okay, I want to be out of the headlines. Oh, Wiley gonna say justice for Megan when that man ain't shoot Megan. Oh, come on now, he shot her. Okay, he took a plea deal in the case, and so he admitted to shooting her. I mean, that's established legally at this point. Not anyone can make the shade room, honey. Not everyone. All right, so moving on to Wendy Williams, y'all. On her show today, she dragged Karlie Redd. Ooh, for filth.
Oh, Karlie.
She called Karlie old and dusty. Ah, it's so embarrassing. I'm going to share my screen so you can hear what she had to say, but it was not nice. Yeah, let me share my screen so y'all can hear it for yourself. Okay, let me adjust the sound so you can hear it. All right, here we go. Oh, why is it not playing?
Karlie Redd. Do I believe that they mess around? Yes. Do I believe that she's trying it? Yes. Do I believe that she's too old and just a little dusty for him? Yes. Only because Lamar, you know, Lamar's a simple guy of simple ways. And Karlie Redd is a strategic conniver.
Ooh.
Proven. I don't believe that he has a relationship with Karlie Redd. Do I believe that they mess around? Yes. Do I believe that she's trying it? Yes. Do I believe that she's too old and just a little dusty for him?
Okay, here's what Karlie had to say. She said, "Sir Wendell, ooh, you said I'm dusty. Where? Don't let me post this video of you in an NYC club snorting. Ooh. If you want Lamar, just say that." And then someone responded and said, "But he snorted too, right? I thought." And Karlie responded and said, "Exactly. They make a perfect couple." Ooh. Is that shade towards Lamar? Buffy, what are your thoughts?
So wait. Karlie's too conniving for him. He was with a whole Kardashian. Them the most conniving broads alive.
That's a good point. You got a point.
What's she talking about?
You got a good point. Yeah.
He likes conniving broads, clearly, so let them be.
He was okay when he was with Chloe. He wasn't. Right. She wasn't conniving, but now that he with a sister, she's dusty. And she was amazing.
Why you mad? Because she trying to be strategic. Them Kardashians was plenty heck of a strategic, getting with all them NBA players. So why can't Karlie do that? Why you hating on the sister Wendy? Wendell, whatever her name is.
And look at her. She's 47 years old. She looks amazing.
She looks great.
She looks amazing. She don't look dusty to me.
No, not at all. Wendy need to stop. Wendy need to stop with that man.
Ooh. And the clapback, right? Snorting cocaine. Ooh. Wiley, what are your thoughts?
I think that Wendy does things for clicks and views because she didn't have to call that woman dusty. She's beautiful. She looked like, Miss Red looked like she smelled good. Her body is built really well. But when I look at Wendy, it's wrinkled, soggy. I'm like, her body's not all together. I do believe that maybe she want Lamar. Like maybe she want to, get down with him. And again, Wendy she does what she does best. She trashed black women to get ratings. But she would have not done that if that was Kim or anybody else. She don't like
she
women.
Likes them. Those are her friends.
Yeah, she trashed the black women.
I think she does like Lamar. She calls him Lammy, and always refers to him in a very affectionate way. And says she has a soft spot for him. She never brings up the drug stuff. So she probably does like him, and she's probably jealous that Karlie Redd was able to get with him before she did.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wendy
Yeah. Stop coming for our black sisters. Stop it, Wendy. Just cut it out. I want to segue from that, Buffy, into, like I said, July is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And, you and I had conversations about mental health literacy, financial literacy, and how it relates to minorities in our community. And I wanted you to come on tonight to educate the teacups about that.
And I ain't gonna bore you teacups, but
education is never boring.
Right. But we do need to everything, and listen, I go to the church, my uncle a bishop, but everything ain't just, sometimes we need to seek out professional help. Depression is real, anxiety is real. And I think that a lot of times when we don't have control over our money, we think we blame ourselves. There's a lot of blame. And the problem is the schools don't teach us about credit. The schools don't teach us about balancing a checkbook. And the schools don't teach us, about investments and making money while you sleep and passive income. And so, you can't really blame yourself. I hear an echo. I'm sorry.
Let me go on mute.
Okay. You can't really blame yourself. And 90% of the problem is we blame ourselves. So then we don't fix it. We leave the mess the same. We stay in the muck. We constantly loaning money to friends. We constantly giving money to our cousin. We enabling people to do all this stuff. And then we can never meet our own financial goals, which continues to keep us in this financial depression and this financial anxiety. And I think that my approach to financial literacy is less about, like I said, budgeting and more about attacking the why we do these things to get ourselves in trouble. Why, when I know darn well I don't have no money, do I not pay my rent in December so I can ball out at Christmas in front of folk with the kids and then run to my darn tax preparer in January talking about, can you file my last pay stub? And y'all know I know because I own tax practices. We make these silly financial decisions every year and get ourselves in this mess and cause ourselves unnecessary financial stress and anxiety because we're trying to keep up with the darn Joneses. And I'm gonna tell you, the Joneses broke as hell. They ain't got no money. So quit trying to keep up with them. And we gotta deal with this because we're never going to pass on generational wealth until we attack this problem in our community. Now, I could preach forever about it, but I'm just saying we got to start there. And we have to be real with ourselves. And you got to say publicly, I have a problem managing my money. One of the first chapters in my book and in my e-course, Before You Ball, is what had happened was, and I force my students in a live weekly Zoom that I do every Monday to say in front of everybody, my name is Buffy, and what had happened was, and they have to say how they got themselves in a financial mess. And people cry and they break down, but it's necessary because if you can say that publicly, you'll stop caring about what the Joneses think, right? When you can say that publicly, you then internalize, oh, I do have a problem. And then you can change your ways. because we all make money. We make money every day. You know what I'm saying? And now a lot of these people about to get this extra money on July 15th. The IRS say they on schedule to send these child tax credits. Some of y'all, these 4-5 kids about to get $1,500 or more a month from the government for the rest of the year. What's your plan for that money? Have we put a plan together for that money? Are we going to invest that money for the kids? Are we going to save some of that money? Or what are we going to do with that money? We just going to get it and spend it up on shiny trinkets that we're going to tear up? Like, we got to get control of this in our community. We really do.
Now, I know you teach a course. You have a Zoom course. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so it's an e-course that I offer, and there are 30 lessons. And the way my course is different is it's not like everybody else's where they just do a PowerPoint presentation and break it up into 4 modules. I actually grade every assignment. I send feedback to my students, and every Monday I do Zoom lectures. And I answer questions, and we talk about different topics. And I bring on my friends who, know about credit. And I bring on my friend who, used to be the head of Primerica Financial. He used to be the CEO. And when I was in college, I worked for him as a life and health and insurance agent. And he used to sign my check. And then 15 years later, he hired my firm to manage he retired from Primerica and opened up his own investment company. And he hired my firm to manage his practice. And so he's going to come on in the coming weeks and teach my students. You wouldn't have access to these people, and I'm giving it to my students because it's time. People see all these crypto investors making millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars on one little something they threw a little change in. And our people are missing out because ain't nobody taught us about it. So this is my way to break it down, heal some of these generational traumas of financial PTSD and not having control of your relationship with money, because it's plenty of it out here and we can make it too. And folks tired of going back to work, and I'm gonna stop. Y'all need to learn how to make passive income. Rich folk don't darn work, honey. Y'all working for them. They sit at the house. They ain't doing nothing, making passive income. And you can do the same. You don't have to have millions of dollars to make passive income. You don't.
That's absolutely right. And Buffy offers a course to give you the tools to invest. You don't have to have a lot of money also to invest. See,
Nope.
people are always under that assumption that you need a lot of extra income to invest. Tell us about that, Buffy.
Yeah, but it's the gatekeepers. Because see, this is the thing. A population needs, worker bees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we can't let y'all know the gems of how to make money while you sleep, how to get mailbox money, how to make passive income by just by not touching your money. They don't want folk to know that. They don't want folk to know that. And that's clearly abundant with now they're trying to regulate cryptocurrency. Why? Because a lot of retail investors threw $20 here and $50 there and made money. They don't want to see that. They want it for a certain segment of the population, Wall Street, and not the everyday person. And I'm here to say you can do it too. Whether you invest in my course or not, I do financial literacy mentoring on my social media for free every day. But if you want more access to me, click on that link and get my course. So.
Yeah, definitely. What I like about what you offer is allowing the regular folk like me and, people listening to this broadcast to have access to these high profile people, lawyers, financial experts, tax experts, CEOs of banks and stuff, people that they ordinarily would not have access to gain the tools and the knowledge needed. So, I thank you for that. P in a Pod wants to know, what advice do you have for a young teen building credit?
Mama build it for them. If mama's good with money, the thing that we do for our nephews is as soon as they turn 17 or 18, we get a credit card in our name and make them an authorized signer and user. And they don't ever get the card. We charge the card up and we pay it off every month. So by the time they get to college, they have perfect credit. See, one of the things about credit that is really important is the length of time you've had good credit. And so a lot of us don't start establishing credit until we, get a couple years into college, and then we've missed out on some time, or even after college. All we know is a student loan debt. We don't know about revolving credit or credit card or installment loans. I mean, I bought my first house when I was 18, but I come from a family of accountants. You know what I mean? I wasn't paying rent. My mom was like, you got a scholarship. I'm gonna give you this money I saved for college. And I was blessed for y'all get me. Yes, I did come from folk of means, but my mom gave me the money and I bought a house instead of paying rent or going out and wilding. And so, you know, it's just, but I think that if regular folks were taught the things that my parents taught me, and we get these kids before they get to college, they'll make the same good decisions. It's just about access and knowledge. You know, people assume that poor people are poor because they're not living, you know, pulling up their bootstraps. No, it's because ain't nobody taught them the game.
That's true. Absolutely. And no one necessarily wants to go to college for 4 years to learn the game.
And you don't have to, because honey, all these people with these degrees can't find no darn job, child. It's a new world now. You know, I'm all about people getting accreditations and certifications and you know, doing what you want to do. But you know, the old lie they told us about go get a 4-year degree and getting all this student loan debt and you'll be guaranteed XYZ. People see ain't true. It's not.
Exactly. Monica Kopp wants to know, Buffy, where can I find your information? Monica, can you please post a link? It's scrolling across the screen, but I'll also post it in the chat so you'll have it as well. Thank you for the super sticker, the interracial perspective, maturity.
Yeah, interracial perspective. I'm gonna follow you.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
I'm a swirl girl.
He's amazing. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Let me see. Follow Buffy on IG and YouTube. Just being
thank
Buffy.
You, beautiful Kimmy.
Yeah, she really is beautiful. Let me see here. I'm signing up for Buffy's course. Good.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to meet you and see you in class. It's gonna be great. My students, every Monday, everybody says it's like going to church and like having a mental health. Like David comes on and does mindfulness and you know practices mindfulness and does meditation, financial meditation. Like it's a whole new view of managing your money and learning how to change your relationship with money for the good. Yeah.
Can you give a quick synopsis of your background? You know, what qualifies you to create a course like this, give information for the folks that don't know?
Sure. So for years, I worked in the fintech arena for 20 years. I'm aging myself now as a tax accountant. I owned about 5 practices of my own, but my family had close to 20 in the South. I also, like I said, was a life and health insurance agent. I also was property and casualty agent. I owned a mortgage brokerage firm. I was a mortgage broker and had loan officers work for me. And I also, you know, I'm a known financial and tax professional expert. I've been featured on HLN, CNN, CNBC, all the normal haunts in that perspective and in that space. So my career was all about financial literacy and teaching people what, you know, when my clients came with their tax refunds, or tax return, I didn't just do their return and not tell them you need to invest in an IRA or, you know, they would get the big sister perspective. And I think that was why my practice grew so well, because it wasn't just your number and I'm just doing your tax return. I trained my staff to look a little bit deeper and say, hey, what are your goals? You want to buy a house? Let's do this, let's do that, so that we can help you achieve that. And it's just been my life's work. And I wrote the book years ago, Crawl Before You Ball, and I wanted to figure out how to make it new and easy for people to digest. And so we came up with this e-course.
That's amazing. So there you have it. I mean, she's well credentialed, okay? Has been featured on many various big media production television shows and that kind of stuff. So the girl knows she knows her background. She knows the business. She's a financial expert to stars and just us regular day folks.
Yeah, I worked with business. I was a business manager for celebrities, professional athletes, politicians. I can't name them, for years. And I always wanted to teach regular folk the stuff that I taught them. See, people think when somebody is a celebrity and has a whole bunch of money that they know what to do with it, but they don't. They hire people like me to handle it. If you watch them Kardashians, you've seen them say, well, I got to ask the business manager if I can buy this new house. That's somebody like me. You know, I would have some of my rapper clients calling me at 2:00 in the morning time, I want to buy a Lambo. I'm like, the damn dealership ain't open. No. But you know what I mean? It's like the stuff that I taught them so they could keep their money. We're teaching in this class now to everybody.
Mm-hmm. I agree, Og, but Buffy can speak more to this. You know, when you're graduating from high school, you're now entering college, you have no credit, and all of these various credit card companies are giving their credit cards away. You acquire 1 million of them and you have all this debt. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, it's the trap. It's the trap to keep a working population. You know, let's entrap you with student loan debt. Let's entrap you with credit card debt. We've given you no education on this. And so, of course, you're going to take this card if you're 19 years old and it seems like free money. You're going to take these student loans and get more than you need than covering the courses and get you a cute pair of boots or live in a fat apartment or buy you a car you can't afford. Because why wouldn't you? Nobody's told you what's going to happen when you graduate or don't graduate. You know what I'm saying? And so it's the trap. And I get my students to just say forgive yourself for making those mistakes, because you can't be held accountable for what you didn't know. You know, when you know better, you do better. And so now that you know better, let's figure out how to get out of all of this. But yeah, it's the trap, and it's hard. I mean, I remember in college, they were in the quad. Oh, you'll get an iPad if you apply for this credit card. Well, why wouldn't you, child? Right? Doing the most to get you, and it's all a part of the machine, because they need a worker population. They don't need you to graduate with no debt.
Right. They don't want everyone to be CEOs and know how to work their ways, the inner workings of how credit works and the tax, you know, how to get around certain things and tax codes and that kind of stuff. They don't want that. They don't want you out there with all this knowledge, because they need consumers, right?
Yeah.
And they need a certain percentage of the population to be, you know, broke pretty much and in debt.
Yeah, because that's who you make the money off of. People with bad credit are the ones that we make all the money off of. You don't make money off people with 850 scores. You got to get them. You got to get them 0% APR. You got to let them get into ball games for free. You have to court people like that. The people with bad credit are the ones that banks make money off of. One of the lessons I had recently was, who do we loan money to every day and every 2 weeks and we don't think about it? It's your bank. Every time you make a deposit to your bank is using your money to loan out to other people, and they're giving you barely anything for it. But nobody teaches us that. Where do you think banks get money to loan people other money? They use your money.
From your money.
Money. They use your money to loan out to other people. Then when you need some money, they decline you. Ain't that a mess?
Oh, the irony of it. Miss Redhead, thank you for the Aussie coin. We appreciate you. Buffy, would your course work for us OS? She's in Australia.
Oh, yes. It's all digital. It will. Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes. And I saw somebody ask if it's affordable. Yes. So it is. It's very affordable. Plus, I have a payment plan for folks, because I understand some people got to crawl before they ball. So yeah.
But you go out and spend, you know, $200-300 on dinner. Invest in yourself. Invest in education.
Right.
The tools that Buffy's offering can help you make more money. You know, you may have, I don't know, 50K sitting in the bank, 20K. Why not make that grow to 40K or 60K with the right tools? Invest. I always say the best investment is in yourself and your family.
Right.
Yep. Queen Ness, thank you so much for the super chat. Sending love and support to our Queen Monica. Oh, love ya, Buffy and Wiley. Oh,
love you too, Tina.
Oh, that's so sweet. Let me see here. Let me add Rhonda to the chats. That's okay.
Hello.
Hey, Rhonda.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Wiley. Hi, Buffy. You know what, Monica? This is a great topic. I was not expecting this, but Buffy, you hit everything. You're on point.
Thank you.
A quick background on myself is that I spent 20 years as an accountant in corporate America. And right when the pandemic hit, first of all, I was working full-time in corporate America and doing freelance accounting. for like 2 years. And then when the pandemic hit, and then we started, I don't know, I started getting very nervous about my quality of life. And I have 2 children. Fast forward, what I did was I jumped. And my brother, because my brother's a business owner, and he calls it being a W-2 slave. He said, Rhonda, you know, you've been doing freelance. Because I mean, literally, I was doing my freelance accounting and during weekday evenings and weekends. So eventually I jumped and I just took a chance. And it's been almost a year in my freelance accounting business. It's now a full-fledged accounting practice.
Yay!
Wow,
Really.
congratulations.
I work a lot of hours. You know, when you run your own business, there are no days off. There's
Yeah,
no
work every day that ends in the letter Y, but it's yours.
That's right. It's mine. And I will work. There's no
No.
9 for me, but it's mine. And I'm no longer a W-2 slave.
Yeah.
I'm no longer that. And I get to, in my spare time, I get to call and to, you know, you guys and comment on things that I like to, because I love Hollywood gossip. But see how God works, Monica. I was not expecting you, Buffy, and I'm glad to hear you that you're speaking on that. And I'm an accountant. I know all about finances and everything. And I teach my kids no debt. Don't do it. Because both of my kids are college now, college age. Don't do it. Are you familiar with Dave Ramsey?
I don't like him at all. I'm not a big fan of the shaming of people, with shaming them into financial literacy. I think he is very much out of touch. I don't think he's speaking to minorities. You know, he's talking about, you know, folk with 401ks and all this other stuff. And the folk I'm talking to are the folks who are like, what's that? You know what I'm saying? Or ones with it. Like you gotta address everybody, not just a certain segment of the population.
Yeah,
you know?
well, like he's I don't agree with everything about him, but one thing I do agree with him is when he says debt is dumb and cash is king. So especially when you got credit card debt, and if you got a mortgage, and then you got your credit card debt and your car note, how on earth can you ever really, you're a slave to the lender basically, right?
Unless you have really good credit. And I'm a big fan, different from Dave, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I think people should leverage cheap debt. Truly wealthy people don't spend their money.
Right. Wealthy
So
people don't.
like so when you say cash is king, you keep your money and you spend other people's money. So and Dave ain't gonna tell people that he's doing that, but he is. Because that's the oldest game. Truly wealthy people never spend their own money, because you can just file bankruptcy, you know what I mean, under your business and keep your cash just fine. They use other people's money and they leverage cheap debt. So if like right now you can get a house for pretty much free interest wise, if you have great credit, you can get credit cards with 0% APR, which means you're using somebody else's money, and you can leverage and pay it back over time if you have the constitution to do so. But I get it. I understand. He's like, you know, just don't have the debt. But there are some advantages to leveraging cheap debt, pimping the credit card companies for points, free trips, things like that.
I think debt is fine if it's your mortgage, right? Because you get the equity in it, right? So the debt is okay. You're paying off your house, you're getting the equity in it. But credit card debt and all that, it depends on the person. But for me and my kids, I try to teach them, please, no debt. Because at the end of the day, if you get out of control with that debt, then you're a slave to the lender.
Oh, I agree.
You
but
have
they
no freedom.
but they do need to establish credit though. So make sure they at least do. Yeah.
In order to have good credit, you have to have debt. You have to have debt.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a game. You have to have debt to a certain extent. You got to pay it off a certain time of the month, but you got they don't, like, your credit score won't go up unless you acquire some debt. You can't just have credit cards and you're not using them. You have to have the debt, but you also have to pay your bills on time. Right, Buffy? Am I right about that?
Yeah, I think what Rhonda said, she was telling her kids to pay it off in full every month, right?
Yes.
Yep, okay. That's correct. Yeah. And that's
you can't
correct.
give a 19-year-old free credit because they really don't have the discipline yet. So you have to kind of teach them and pay it off every month. That's fine. But just don't let it get out of control, because once it's out of control.
Oh, I agree.
And look at the student loans these kids are burdened with. It's a nightmare. It is a nightmare. I got student loans like a pet in the house. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I had to pay $23,000 when I graduated over 20 years ago. So, and my daughter is in school. My son's at a junior college, so we cash flow that. But my daughter, I have to get like a Parent Plus loan, and I don't want to do that. It's only like $3,500 because she's got mostly scholarships, but I don't want to do that because in my mind, it's like there is some freedom to being debt free where you always have your mortgage. There is some freedom in that because I don't have a car note. I don't have credit card debt. I don't want it. I mean, why? Because I got caught up in credit card debt before, really twice.
Yeah.
It took forever. And then when I got my student loan paid off, and then I've got my Lady Red, my Kia Soul, the 2015. That's my Lady Red. I love her. She's paid off. And I just don't want that. I want to keep my mortgage. There's freedom to that. So
no, I agree. And I'm also a big proponent of not throwing your kids out as soon as they turn 18.
Oh no,
Coaches don't do that, and we do it. We like get out, and that's another way that we set our kids up for mess. Because we know darn well they ain't got no money to be paid. That's why they get these student loans, all these credit cards and stuff to try to finance a life. Let them live at the house. Now you can put rules in place and say you got to pay some bill because they need to grow up, get a contract and a lease and all that kind of stuff. But I don't believe in kicking the children out. I just don't. Then everybody, we got to get back to what grandma them did, and everybody can live at the house, especially in this economy. Everybody afford to live out here in these streets, and if we all got a job and we helping paying a mortgage, then somebody can save some money.
Yeah. Buffy, that's an excellent point.
Yes,
because I'm not throwing my two babies out. Why go pay someone else rent? So
crazy.
They get the rental income.
Right.
You get no benefits from it, and you're out of $1,200 a month.
Right.
Stay here in house where you've been all your life. Stockpile your cash, and go out and buy yourself a rental property, and then you can let somebody else kid.
Yeah.
Or you can say that $1,200 and pay off that Parent Plus loan I had to get for your behind.
There
Boom.
You go.
Boom.
I love this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda.
You're welcome. Thank you, Rhonda. Have a great evening. Thanks for calling in. In the Indian communities, they do that, Buffy.
Everybody do it to us.
Yeah. I mean, the aunties, grandma, and the kids, adult kids, they get married and they still living at home.
But you know what? Real talk. I'm a big fan of if Keisha got a 5-bedroom house she owned, right? And her family lived there. And it's 2 people in the family who lease coming up due, and they paying $1,200 each at their places. Why we can't come together as a family and say, yo, come live with us, pay me $600 a month so you can save that other $600. You know what I'm saying? And that helps me pay my mortgage or pay something else within the household for a specified period of time. So then we can get that next family member to buy their own house and move out. That's what the other cultures do. And then everybody always says, well, no, I don't want to do that because, family get on my nerves. Well, you know what? Paying this high rent get on your nerves too. So choose the stress you want. You want financial stress or stress of family members you've been dealing with since you was born anyway. You know what I mean? We're going to have to get back to what grandma them used to do in old cultures and these other cultures are doing every day. And we big mad because they ain't got no debt and they buying businesses, owning the block because they sacrificed for a while, living together and working hard. And if somebody in the family ain't got no job, ding dong, your new job is you watching these kids. That's your job. You watching these kids and you're going to have these meals paid and this house clean. That's your job within the house so we don't have to pay for childcare. We're going to leave a car for you at the crib. You get these kids up from school. That's your job. That's how you pay to live here. It ain't rocket science. We just going to have to get back to the old ways so we can get ahead.
Right. We've strayed so far from the old ways. And that's part of the reason why family is so broken, and it all ties together. It really does. I'm going to go ahead and add Vanessa Camagate to the chat. Hey, Vanessa. Hi. How are you?
I look like a wreck, but I was coming.
You look good.
You are beautiful.
I was coming through my skin. Miss Buffy is touching on everything. She is absolutely correct. You guys, that's kind of my background as well. I don't have the education the way Miss Buffy does, but I learned through the School of Hard Knocks.
That's the best way to learn, honey.
Yeah, I used to be a funder for Countrywide and all that stuff, but long story short, I'm a Black inventor. I kind of keep it on the down low, but I am.
Yeah.
I created a product that lots of people are using.
Congrats.
It actually created a lot of wealth for me at one point.
Okay.
And like what Buffy was saying, I didn't really know what to do. Like, what do I do with this money? I mean, it's not going to last forever. They bought me out. So it was like a flat rate type of thing, you guys.
Yeah.
Money, bye-bye. I was so excited to have it, and I didn't know what to do with it. But I learned, and everything that Buffy is saying is spot on. You have to learn how to use your credit. Credit is not bad. We're taught that credit is bad.
Yep.
But if you use it strategically, you can live so well. I have a lot of properties now, you guys. I've been doing Airbnb. I even do things with cars. I tell people how you can drive a car and not have to worry about the car note, depending on what type of city you live in. I live in Los Angeles. So, you know, you can Turo your car out. They cover that expense for you, and you're driving your car for free, people.
Yep.
Know somebody. There's so many, but credit is the key. Don't let anybody tell you, no, it's bad to have credit. No, you just have to strategically learn how to use it. So, Buffy, you're right on the money. But I have a quick question. And Monica, I love you, and I want you to know I have your back, sis.
Amen.
Let me say that first.
Thank you, sis.
And I've been in these comments, and I've been on other places. I don't want to stray off, but I'm just saying, we all need grace and mercy.
Yep.
All of us have done things, and I'm not saying you did, Monica. That's between you and God. So I'm not here to be the police over anybody. And even you, Wiley, when people talk about, oh, Wiley tore up the library, woo, woo, woo. Hell, I had days like that where I wanted to tear something up. Okay? But I'm just saying, honestly, you guys, we have to stop this. We may make mistakes. We may do things maybe we didn't mean, but we're human and we make mistakes, and we all need grace and mercy. If we're all judged on the stuff we did, please. If our mistakes was caught on camera, please. So that's the way I see it. Okay. So I just want to say that. I got your back, and
Thank you.
This. And Buffy, I love you. I got a quick question though, Buffy. I was wondering about how you can be a bank for your like for your life insurance policy or something.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Is that some trick? I mean, I've been hearing a little bit about.
Yeah, no. You totally can. Now you're gonna have to catch me on another platform for that, because it will be all right. But no, you can. It is. It's real. No, it's real.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Okay. Sign up for the course.
No, I will. And I know a lot about credit. My credit's great. I help people when those.
Yeah, the course ain't about credit. It's not just about credit. It's total financial. My take on mental health and financial literacy. And I bet when you had all that money, you became a human ATM machine. Well, when you first got it, you gave a lot of it out to people, I'm sure. And so we spend a lot of time talking about that and freeing yourself from that. So, and that financial guilt of having money when others around you don't.
Well, now when my family members used to ask me for money, now at this point, I make sure their credit is together. And so, no, and it's not for that. It's not for that. It's to teach them how to make their own money.
No.
I don't want to just give them a fish. You know what I mean? I want to teach them how to. So when they ask me that, instead of giving them $200 or something like that, it's like, let's look at your credit report. Okay, what kind of side business can you do? Okay, let's get you some money so you can make it happen. So that's what I believe in doing. I believe in teaching people how to start businesses, how to get capital for that business. And that's kind of what I do now. Wow. So
I wasn't making funny. I was saying it's something that, we do in my family. I had come up with about 6 months ago, where because we had so many people asking for loans, I said, well, let's make a family bank essentially. And what we do is micro bank. We do micro lending for people in the family. And so when we give them a micro loan, we report to the credit bureau when they pay back. And so it then helps rebuild
their credit. Exactly. And just like those young people that say, what can I do? It's like you said. And my sister, I was like, listen, my nephew's learning how to drive. Don't go and get him an old hoopty. He's going to end up having to pay the mechanic. Let him get a car, finance it. This will build his credit, because it's important to build credit.
Yes.
And use it strategically, and it's phenomenal. I can't say enough. I'm sorry, I don't call in, but I was like,
you calling in. And
you
guys, for your success, and also your mentoring everyone in financial literacy, because we need more people doing that out here.
And Monica, we need shows like this.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Sidebar you, Monica. I'm serious. You know how to get the haters back. And this type of stuff, people like Buffy, people that bring something to help people. What's gossip gonna do? Okay,
Well, it's entertaining. Gossip's good too. We need to laugh.
You know that's how I came to you, girl, because you was giving the good tea. Now, don't get me wrong.
We need the good tea now. The gossip is where it's at. We need some tea now.
Thank you, Vanessa. We appreciate you so much. And God bless you for giving back. Not only lending and being supportive, but you also teach. You know, education is so important to give back to family members and people around you. So God bless you. Thank you.
Yeah, God bless you, Buffy, for what you're doing too.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Have a good night. Helen's Pearls, thank you so much for the super chat. What's your take on velocity banking? Is it a good idea, Buffy?
No comment.
Oh Lord, I need to Google that.
Vanessa, do me a favor. Vanessa, send me a message on Instagram. DM me.
Now what is velocity banking? I've never heard of that.
I ain't taking over your whole show.
No, just a synopsis. Have you ever heard of that, Wiley? I've never heard of that.
Never heard of velocity banking.
I don't want to get it out.
Okay, all right, we got to go Google it, y'all. Now I'm really interested. The interracial perspective, maturity not included. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, "Hey Monica Boo, hey Buffy, hey Wiley. Thank you for having this important discussion." Absolutely. Let me add Queen Tulsa to the chat. Hey, Queen Tulsa. You're on mute, my love.
Hello, people. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Hello, Monica.
Hello.
Wiley. Okay. Thank you for jumping up on this subject, because yes, credit is very, very, very powerful. Don't abuse it. You know, once you credit right, don't abuse it. Don't put no phone bills in your name. Don't go getting out loans. Don't do none of that, because you really find out who people are when it's time to get your money. Look at some of these judge shows. I want to say, please let Britney out. She doesn't deserve to be locked up like an animal. I mean, she has rights. I mean, everybody. It's really American greed. Really, that's what this whole situation gives me. American greed. They don't want to let up the money. July is Mental Health Awareness Month. You guys go out there, get checked up. I want to specifically say this to Tory Lanez. Allegedly, go ahead and go get your help. Those drugs and stuff, they are catching up, baby, and you're paranoid and all that. Baby, there's something going on. So let's use those resources and get the help that we need. Let's see. Yes, Wendy. You said bye, Cynthia. Like, you know what? I flipped up. I rolled out of bed for that one. Like, I'm ready for her to go too. So thank you, Wendy, for saying what everybody else was thinking. And leave Karlie alone. She just wants some of Lammy. You get what I'm saying?
So does Wendy.
Absolutely. And then Buffy, let's just say this. What is maybe like one big thing that you could tell to those that are wanting to, well, I have a business, but what is some good info or feedback on how to invest in other, whatever, make other investments?
To get into investing. So my first question always is, do you have 2 years of what it costs you to be you in a high yield savings account? And if the answer is no, then I say don't get into investing into other people's dreams before you invest in yourself. And so when you have 2 years of what it costs you to be you, somewhere that's paying you 0.50 or higher APY, Then if you have that, then we can start talking about baby steps into getting into other investments, like investing in real estate or passive income, or doing something above and beyond an IRA or your 401k. Or if you own a small business, you could have a SEP IRA and put up as much as $58,000 a year and take a tax deduction for it. We can't get savvy. We got to crawl before we ball with everything, including investments. You know, I had a lady in one of my classes the other night say she invested in this guy's business like 50 grand. And I said, well, what's in your emergency fund? She didn't have an emergency fund. So now why would you go invest in somebody else's dream before you took care of yourself and your family? I think we always want to jump. We want to run. We don't want to crawl. And we need to crawl for a little while first. And ain't nothing wrong with that. So my advice is to make sure you got a minimum of 2 years, not 3 months like Dave Ramsey says, not 6 months like Susie Orman say. They say that because they talking to people with good credit that can go get a loan somewhere if something popped off. I'm talking folk that look like me, because COVID has taught us when these places shut down and the government take a year to get somebody a little $1,200 stimulus, ain't nobody helping you. You gonna have to help yourself. So first, invest in yourself.
Okay, let me ask this. Okay, so like when you're let's say you're trying to fix your credit, is this positive knowledge like don't go paying off everything on your credit report? Like people go and sit down with somebody, and then because there are certain things that you can get away with when you're trying to like say get be a homeowner. Am I right there, or am I
Get away with? So let me just tell you this. Like Monica and like we've said, credit isn't bad. We've got to get away from this notion that having credit is bad. Having things on your credit card is bad. It's not. It's the derogatory that's bad, right? And so I recommend, like, if your goal, like you just mentioned, buying a house, there's certain things you can have on your credit bureau and still buy a house. There's a company called NACA. Have you ever heard of NACA?
No, I haven't, but now I do.
So NACA.org. NACA is a company that helps people. They actually a bank. They actually take people in, they offer these courses, and they look at your credit report and they tell you what you need to do, what you can get away with, what you really need to fix, what you don't. And then they offer, if you go through their course, do what they ask you to do, they offer people a 30-year fixed loan for like 2% interest for the life of the loan, even if you got like a 600 credit score. You just have to go through their course and work with them with no money down. And I've had hundreds of clients throughout the years that I've recommended to jump through the hoops with NACA who have bought their home successfully without having to deplete their savings. They don't make you put any money down. You just got to jump through some hoops, and it's taking their classes, learning about home ownership, learning about, see, people, I think when they get ready to buy a house, they think, oh, I've been paying $1,200 a month in rent. The mortgage is only going to be $1,500. Well, that's not the totality of what it encompasses to own a house. The minute that HVAC unit go out, you're going to be hot as hell up in that house if you ain't got no savings to fix it because ain't no landlord to call. And so they teach stuff like that. And it's a free course. So I highly recommend NACA, NACA.org. I actually have a call tomorrow with their head of public relations. I'm going to bring them on to one of my Monday lives with my students to talk about their course and what you need to do. Because basically you do what they say and then they give you a mortgage. Instead of banks putting you through all the hoops, go with NACA.
How do you spell that, Buffy?
NACA.org.
Okay.
NACA.
Wow.
Now, do you recommend Habitat for Humanity?
No. To buy a house?
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
And why is it?
Just because that organization, isn't it for building a home for indigent people?
No. So what they do is so like low poverty, like they aim for like the low poverty area, and pretty much like you were saying, like they'll take you through classes like how to be a neighbor, how to budget, how to do this, how to do that. And pretty much, yeah, you put down a deposit, you put down some money, and then they'll match it. And once you're in your house for 5 years, they'll like forgive that. And
the whole loan or the amount that they matched?
The amount that they put down for your deposit, like once you're in for the 5 years, then they forgive that. And then
Do they give you the loan? I'm just asking. Sorry to interrupt. Do they give you the mortgage, or you got to go outside of them to get the mortgage for the house?
Well, you have the mortgage outside, but when it's at signing, okay, you have a payment that you put down. Only thing that you'll put down a small percent, and they will match the other percent. And like I said, if you stay in your house for 5 years, you don't have to pay that money back to them. And
So to me, sorry, go ahead.
and then the private mortgage insurance, that you don't have to pay that either.
Yeah, PMI. So for me, it's prohibitive for some people. So if you don't have that small percentage to put down, then you can't use the program. The thing I like about NACA is it's no money down, and they finance the loan through them. They handle all that. So you're not having to go to some outside bank, pay origination fees to some other bank, go through all the hoops to get approved, and then they give you half, and you got to come up with the other half of the down payment. I'm for a 0 down payment, so you can keep your savings, right? I'm for a guaranteed 2% or 3%, whatever is the market low rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage. I'm here for the option. If I don't want to stay in the house for 5 years, I ain't got to stay in the house for 5 years. You get all these options with NACA.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for
Thank you for your questions. Those are good questions.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for enlightening us, and thank you. Always come back and shed your light. And what's the lip color? Can we get a kiss?
Oh, me? It's Mac, Ruby Woo. Thank you. Your lip color's pretty too.
I forgot what color it is, but it's a sweet pink.
It's pretty. It looks good on you.
It looks really pretty. Thank you, Queen.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Leandra Williams, thank you so much for the super chat. Awesome information. I think sometimes we're afraid to learn how to manage money because it's hard. Well, we just need knowledge and discipline. Yeah, knowledge and discipline. Very, very true.
Yeah, managing money isn't hard. It's not. It really isn't. I think they want us to think it's hard. It's all part of the game. And I'm here to tell you, it's not that hard. We're going to get rid of them roadblocks that they don't put in our head.
Right.
And get this thing together.
I love it.
This generational wealth.
I love it. And I love how down to earth you are. You say it so plain spoken. You speak the language of the people where they can understand it. You don't make it complicated. I mean, if you can't explain something to me, something very complicated to a 7-year-old where a 7-year-old can understand it, then you probably don't know what you're talking about. But he explains it where the common folk can understand it. You're taking home tools. It's not a gimmick or anything of that nature. I know there's a lot of courses out there, but trust me when I tell you it's worth the investment. Okay. I've listened in on some of the Zooms and it's amazing. The knowledge you pick up.
And you review the course because you're a good friend.
Oh, thank you.
Always support. Always support.
Thank you. Oh, I don't have a choice.
Even when people don't realize you supporting the Monica, you be supporting them. That's all I'm going to say.
It's the sisterhood. I mean, I will have it no other way. That's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to uplift each other and support each other. So thank you, Queen, for being here. Vanessa Camagate, thank you so much for the super chat. She goes, thank you guys for this subject. Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Tootie. How you doing? You ready to come on? You have questions for Buffy? All right.
No.
How are you?
I'm cool. I didn't have no questions. I was like, hey, but okay. Hey, Buffy, I liked you on the show. And Wiley, you knew I just got, I'm just starting to, hey, what's up?
Okay. Hey, girl.
I didn't expect you to just bring me in. I didn't expect that. I only had nothing. But y'all cool though.
Thank you. We appreciate it. You have a good night.
What y'all think about Erica Jane and that money? Are you already done talking about that? I want to know about this.
I can talk about Erica Jane. I think that she didn't know. Let me tell. Okay, no. Okay, wait, hold on. I didn't know what y'all was talking about. I just joined, and Monica just threw me up in here. I do have something to say about that. Let me tell you about the Erica Jane thing. All right, is that what y'all talking about?
No, I didn't talk about it. Yeah, what are your thoughts on Erica Jane, Tootie?
I don't think that she knew, because this is what I'm gonna tell you. I've been married a lot of times. We ain't gonna talk about that. But let me tell you something. I think she didn't know, because this is the thing. She too busy spending the money. She too busy hanging out with all the gay dudes, and she too busy spending the money. She's not worried about where the money coming from. I don't be worried about where the money coming from. I don't be worried. I'll be worried. I'd be like, thank you very much. So I can go, I can get cute, I can buy stuff. I don't care. I don't care where the money come from. As long as nobody, selling the drugs is coming to my house or coming to shoot me, but I can spend the money. I'm cool with that. I don't think she knew.
You don't think she knew?
I don't know what y'all was talking about. Literally just came on this joint. I don't know what y'all was talking about.
Financial literacy.
I don't think she knew. She needs some more money because she got to maintain that.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel. She been hanging out like that for 22 years, humping that old man. Come on.
She done got with it, honey. She done got real with it, honey. Got her. She said she had to get a Range Rover, send the Lambo back, honey.
But did you see her on the news pumping the gas? She looked a little hurt. Her little glam squad wasn't glamming her up, but it's okay. It's okay. All I got is eyelashes on.
Can't pay. But I mean, that's that keeping up with the Joneses, honey. Now they done fraud, so she could have a glam squad 24 hours a day and
not for $42,000. I wouldn't be on her glam squad. I don't know how to glam nothing, but I would be on her. I come over there and hang out with her. We're a 3-bedroom house now. I got a 3-bedroom house. I'll come over there and hang out with her because she gonna get somebody else that got that same money. That had that same
mind up. You ain't never lied.
I can't hump no old man though. I can't hump no old man. I can't do that.
Oh Lord.
I can't do that.
Trudy, you a mess. But I like you.
I like them little boys though. I like them little boys.
Oh, child. Over 18.
Not young. I got a 16-year-old. Not that young.
Okay.
But like in their 30s, that's what a little boy is to me.
Right to it.
Okay.
They back feel good.
Listen, I'm gonna need you to call back in some more, Tootie, because you are a whole mood, okay?
No, I'm just being honest.
Like
this was really good. Yeah, this is 30-year-old. You can't appreciate a little 35-year-old. I know you got that good old white man. I had me a white boy just now.
Oh,
he was good. I had me one. Ooh, but he had a micro penis. That's something different. I didn't even know. I've been a nurse for 28 years, honey. I didn't even know what a micro penis was. Okay, didn't even know. But then I found out on accident. I was like, so what are we supposed to do with this? And then I felt real gay because we was doing a lot of scissoring, and I was like, this is weird. And I was like, this ain't it. This ain't gonna work for me. But so I'm not gonna do white no more. But you know what I got right now? I got me an African.
Oh God, Jesus.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna need you to call back in more often because you a whole mood, honey. Okay.
My bad. I didn't even mean to. You just put me in. It was like, do you want to? I was like, yes. And then I was here. I was just here. I didn't know. I thought that meant I got
the after dark, Tootie. This is not the. All right, my love. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, Tootie.
I'll see you in the chat.
Wiley, look at Wiley.
Oh, you got Wiley turning red. This was very informative and very educational. And I want to thank you, Buffy, for being here. All jokes aside, for being here tonight and educating the masses. Will you come back?
Yes, obviously, always. We are family.
Yes,
we are family.
Absolutely.
Yes, always.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you always for bringing people on and allowing them to, share what they're working on, share their projects. You have always done that. And like behind the scenes, telling me I need to be on YouTube. And I'm like, child, I ain't doing no YouTube. And you're like, you need to do it. Like you always are mentoring and trying to help other people. And folk need to say that if it ain't being said.
Thank you, Buffy.
That's just the reality. And sometimes you do stuff and folk don't realize you're doing it for them, but they'll find out later. They'll find out later.
Buffy, sister, thank you for being who you are. Okay. You do the same for me. You uplift me. You come on this platform. I mean, you don't have to, right? You share your wisdom, your knowledge, your loving and kind spirit. And I can't thank you enough. So thank you as well for being who you are and giving so much of yourself to everyone.
Yes.
Thank you. And Wiley, I'm sorry I kept running my big mouth all night. I like you. You're fun.
Yeah, I like you. I've heard so much.
You got good energy.
I definitely want to take course because when I started, my credit was really low. So I'm building my credit and I didn't know. I'm glad that you have a course and helping out people. So a person like myself need to hear that information. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening.
The interracial perspective. Thank you for another super chat. He said he choked on his wine. I'm sorry. Tootie, Please come back, Buffy.
And we need Tootie to come back too.
Goodness gracious. Ooh, child. Buffy, you don't have to stick around. We're going to just take a few more callers. You've been here long enough, and I know it's like way past dinner time, and I don't want to keep you from Mr. Purcell. Dr. Purcell. He's so wonderful to share you with us.
He loves you, though.
Aw, tell him we say hi.
And he told me to tell you keep your head up, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Purcell. I appreciate it. I really, really do. Thank you. Thank you. All right, my love. I'm gonna let you go because I know you have a lot going on. You guys go. The link to Buffy's course is down below. Sign up. www.justbeingbuffy.com/course. Sign up.
Sign up, y'all. So much fun. I'll see you on Mondays on our live Zoom. Thank you so much. Bye, y'all.
Bye, Buffy. Bye, my love. Bye. Oh, that was wonderful. That was really, really good. I'm gonna add my boy Mo to the chat. Hey, Mo.
Hey, good evening. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, like. That's all. That's the first thing I want to say. If y'all can hear me.
Mo and that smile. Listen, you drive the ladies and the men crazy.
I think we be underappreciated in the chat. We be too lit. Y'all be missing out. You do be highlighting a lot of the comments, but we be lit. We be extra lit in the chat. I've been here all night, so I hope y'all having a good night. And thank you, Buffy, for coming. Like, Black people need as much financial literacy because the system is built against us, as we all know. And I'm from the trenches. I actually have good credit. I started off with great credit because of people teaching my mother, and my mother actually knows about NACA. Her good friend actually works for like a similar program with getting people into housing. So I love anything to help our community. Anyway, really, I like to think of the terminology now. They're starving white children in America instead of starving African children. So, I'm all about helping anyone. Black, white, purple. But yeah, what y'all been up to? Other than that, the tea is always hot, as y'all seen on the Twitter today, on All About the Tea's Twitter every day. But how y'all been, Wiley and Monica?
We've been good. What are your thoughts on Wendy dragging Karlie Redd? Was that justified?
Y'all know anyone? Thank you for your shout out. And I said that in my first video. Like, where is Wendy is trying to get this love story with her and Lamar, but this is not the Love and Hip Hop storyline. Like Karlie, he has a new man every storyline, like Giselle, and Wendy is getting all in the middle of it with the reality, which is that Lamar is about his check and about his check. He wouldn't. Whenever we see him, he's getting money. He's on a Wendy interview. He's knocking out Aaron Carter for a check. I think he just does to himself, as we saw in his Wendy interview. He's to himself, and he's not committed to Karlie. So whatever he's doing on Love and Hip Hop, in my opinion, is a check. Has to be a check.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I'm pretty sure he's getting more than a check out of it, but at the same time, he's a single man and he's dating. Ain't nothing wrong with dating and getting a check and
it's just dating and doing whatever and doing everything, but taking care of your kids allegedly. Like,
oh Lord, they grown though. They are grown at this point.
Yeah, they grown. Where's the college money? He's making it. He's making it. Okay, Lamar. You gotta do that. He's making the money for them kids.
Listen, the people in the chat, the men and the women, just adore you. Okay?
Thank you. I adore the chat. I mean, y'all know I'm in the chat all the time. This is a party, and it's all about the tea. We just, having a good time every night. We all work jobs, most of us, so we here just to have a good time and talk to other people that know that are interested in the same things.
Absolutely.
Just like Britney. How do y'all feel about that? Like, that's crazy.
She's a slave at this point. It's just sad. It's sad that people are living off of her back.
They are. They tried to do the same thing with Lindsay, and I feel bad. But her father actually stood out with her, against her mother. But I do feel extremely bad for Britney. And I hope that this puts awareness on abusive conservatorships. I know that this happens a lot, maybe with older people or whatever the case may be. This needs to and the people definitely want to see Britney in her most authentic form, just because authenticity, people being genuine nowadays is everything. And Britney's been a robot for a long time now.
That's true. Absolutely. Absolutely, Mo. Thank you once again. How can the people find you, Mo?
Oh, y'all can follow me on anything. Just YouTube is awesome because that'll have everything else you need if you care. But basically, you can find me in the chat every night. Like let's be real. Also, Erica Jane, y'all just watched the Hulu documentary. And y'all got everything we need. I can't wait for you to keep investigating the story and see what happens because
I'm on it. I want to see where it goes because I don't think she didn't know. I disagree with Tootie now. I think she knew.
She knew. Come on now. She had to know a little bit. I don't think she knew to that degree, and she needs to say that. Keep her coins and go. I didn't know, but you know.
Yeah. But that attorney Reynolds is on her behind. He's not letting her letting up on it. He's keeping his foot on her neck.
We need it. We love it. Just like Jen saw, just like Teresa, we need to see it. We love it. And you know what? She'll probably, you know how this happens. She's a white woman. That fragility is about to hop out, and I think she'll get off. But we need to see. We're not about to just let her get off too easy. 2020, we was in the house. We need some entertainment. So.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mo. Have a good night, my love. We will see you in the chat. And
thank you for letting me come on.
Of course. Absolutely. Bye. Okay, say bye to Wiley. Bye.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bye, Wiley. Bye, Monica. I'm not saying bye. I'm about to be in the chat.
Right. We'll see you in the chat, baby. We'll see you in the chat. Okay. Bye. Bye. I'm going to add one more caller before we get out of here, and that's the iconic intercessor. Hey, how are you?
Yeah. Hi, Miss Monica. How are you? And hi, Mr. Wiley.
Hi.
You know, I'm the one that asked the questions, and I just want to put this question out so that all thick-headed people who have no intelligence, be it emotionally or whatever, can stop and think. Now, the question is, Miss Buffy has a brand to protect. Is that correct?
Where are we going with this?
Where I'm going with this, and even with the lady that was on last night, in the real world, I'm a paralegal. When people have things to lose, they do not associate with people that can mess up their brand.
Right.
So this should be an all minds clear type of thing concerning the rumors and the ignorance that's out. It should end because that would be it for me. I would look at the association. People who have something to lose, they're not going to fellowship or be around people that are going to destroy their brand. Now, and concerning Erica Jane, I kind of felt that her world was going to come to an end. Now, all of those housewives and even Miss Buffy, she was just so in the flow tonight because when I watched the housewives, I don't know their personal business. Maybe they do have invest, or maybe they do have everything that Miss Buffy was talking about, but I'm like, they're so frivolous. They spend thousands on purses. So some of them do their own businesses. Like I will give it to Portia. She has her own wig line. She's and Candy, you got to give it to her. Candy is going to turn everything into a coin. So, but I think, and then with Bethany, I love when she, went to Puerto Rico to support those people and took money packs. That's what you're supposed to be doing when God blesses you with the money. But I often wonder, why is it that they have to waste so much money? Now, I don't know what they're doing personally. Maybe because people don't brag about it. But if they're not doing that, they should be doing just what Buffy said. So that's all I have to say. And just stop wasting money, because we have people in this country and other countries, so many people that need the help. And people don't realize you can have a $5,000 purse, but you don't necessarily need it.
Absolutely.
We need to be a blessing, especially to orphans and just children. So I just always wonder, why do they live frivolously like that? And maybe I'm being judgmental. Who's
well, they do it because it's entertainment. They do it because it's entertaining. And then you look at other shows. Oh, I gotta outdo Nene. I gotta outdo Candy. If you can afford it, do it. But if you can't do it, don't. And regular folks look at it and they out here buying bags you can't afford. So it's really sad. But live beyond your means. Do not try to keep up with the Jones. If you can't afford it, a Birkin, don't try to get it. If you have to wear a regular bag from Rainbow or have to go to Walmart, get your pocketbook, go to Walmart. Live beyond your means. Don't try to keep up with these celebrities, because half of them is living up on somebody else's income, pretty much their husband or the lawyer, using some of these these checks that they get these settlements, and he have to live in his life on his clients' money. So just be careful. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. That was well said. And Erica is the example, is she not? So thank you, Miss Monica, and you have a blessed evening.
Thank you so much.
You work in customer service, sister?
Do I work in
Is it the headset that gave it away?
Is it the headset that making you ask
It's just
that?
your voice, your demeanor. So you don't work in customer service. Hello, hi. How may I help you? Do you have any problems with
not anymore, but when I was in college, yes.
Okay,
And then I just love people. I work in the community. I respect people. So
I can tell. And you should start you a prayer line. You never thought about doing that?
I have one.
Oh, I can tell. I feel your spirit. That's just so about her. Okay. Okay.
I feel it too. Thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate you, Iconic. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Wiley. What am I gonna do with you, Wiley?
I'm not a spirit. I'm like, you have to come out here and pray. I don't know what to give up my Burger King meal won't be a number 3. So because that handset just really did it, bro. I'm like, okay. I just felt something. Okay.
Wiley. Okay, we're gonna wrap things up. Do you have any closing remarks, Wiley, for this show tonight? Or just anything you want to get off your chest?
I'm telling y'all, this show was really, I was not expecting to having a financial expert just dropping gems. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in a place, I'm like, Lord, I want to get my credit score at 850. You know, you have to be there. So I need to take a course. And I'm like, I'm going to take a course. And then when I take a course and get the knowledge and I apply the principle, and if it works, I'm going to come back and use my platform to say, hey, I applied these principles and I'm here. Because when I first started YouTube, my credit score was 415.
That's okay. Listen, we've all been there at some point, right?
I had a car and I paid 3 times over, because when you have low credit, bad credit, you pay things 3, 4, 5 times over. And so when I calculated, once I paid my car off, I could have bought like 3 or 4 cars, because the interest alone was a lot, and it was for a used car. But I want to tell you, Monica, once again, you are using your platform and to helping people. And so, you know, thank God for that I was sitting here, because I'm going to take advantage of that, because I do want to have financial freedom. Because when you are in debt, you are a slave to someone. You're not fully free. But when you're financially free, you can move a little better. You know what I'm saying? And that is connected to your mental health too. Having debt, people go through mentally, because you're not able to get the help and the resources. But if you're financially secure, you can get the best psychiatry, the best medication, the best, you know what I'm saying? A different environment. But when you have low credit and bad credit and bankruptcies and debt on top of that, that do wear and tear on your mental health and your relationships.
Right. That is true. Absolutely. It's crippling, right?
If
your finances are not in order, it's very hard to function and do other things in your life. It's hard to create. It's hard to even engage in relationships and build your interpersonal skills, because all you're worried about is, what am I going to eat tonight? Is the rent going to be paid at the end of the month? You know, can I make the car note? You're just worrying about all these things. But when you have, like you said, that financial freedom, you have your finances in order, right? You got investments in place. It makes for a simpler life, in my opinion, too.
Yes, and that's why I work so hard to build my own company, and because YouTube can be very lucrative. It's people that make millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And you can do that. And that's just having your own business. So just being around powerful people that's in business and been successful for years, I thank God for you allowing me to sit around people that's in the business and that's successful, and the icing on the cake, that's Black. I love to see that, because it is people that is Black that is doing well. You know,
absolutely.
So we need to see more of that. And so I want to thank you for allowing her on the platform to giving us those gems.
Absolutely. I love Buffy. She's an amazing, amazing person, super intelligent, but just bottom line is she has a good heart too.
Yes, I can tell.
And that's very important.
I can tell by her story. I'm like, oh, this is Whoa, this is good.
Yes. Yes, I enjoyed Vanessa too calling in, and kudos to you for inventing whatever it is that you invented and investing that money the way you did, Vanessa. That's amazing. I love to
Yes.
hear those type of stories. I really do.
And this is like, you never know who watches you, and it's all type of people that watch
Yes.
your product, you know, and that's
Yes.
amazing to see that. I'm like, oh my God, that's such a blessing.
Mhm.
So that's
Right.
good that you had this show tonight. And this is why people, you have to come to these type of shows and get those gems and apply it to yourself, because we don't have to just live broke and just die broke. We can break that curse, because I'm in my mind have just, okay, I want to break the curse. I want to break this
Mhm.
poverty and be the first person in my family to have money and don't live check to check and be 80 years old, have to live up in a nurse home and get bed sores and die. I don't want that life. And working in healthcare, I've seen plenty people that live in poor environments in these poor nursing homes and get bad care because when they were younger, they didn't take care of their finances. And now you're living in a nursing home with 50, 60 some people with 2 people to take care of you. And now you're gonna die alone and broke. So I don't want to live, that life. I don't. I want to make sure I'm comfortable. So when I do, Lord bless me to get 80 and 90, I can live comfortable and have people around me that's going to take care of me, and I live a comfortable life and not a stressful life.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. But it takes hard work, right?
It
And
takes
if you
discipline.
don't have the knowledge, acquire it. Invest in yourself. Instead of going out and buying that Louis Vuitton bag for $3,000, invest it in education. And it doesn't have to be college. And
it's whatever, like,
Buffy made that clear. It doesn't have to be college.
Because when I did YouTube, I had a debt. I had to pay the library. Let's just all together like almost 20,000. It took discipline to pay it off.
Right.
But what I learned from that, I'm like, Wiley, if you can raise $20,000 and pay off something, you can do that personally for your company. Because I know, because I did it. And it took discipline, right? It took me not to go and buy a new car, go buy all these designer clothes. Let me just go to the thrifty store and get some regular clothes on Monday for half price so I can pay off this debt. And I feel good doing it. And now I'm like, okay, Wiley, let's get back into that goal. Let's go back into that and just start building it up and start investing in all of that. So I just want to say thank you for allowing me on this platform, because now I'm going to even dream bigger and I'm going to work harder.
Absolutely. And Wiley, we got to talk about the library incident one day, because it's out there. You've mentioned it here and there, but a lot of people don't really know. And the ones that do know, it's a kiki, it's a laugh. But for me, I drew inspiration from it. Right. I love stories like that. You're so transparent about what happened at that library. Absolutely. And where you are now, right? I mean, that happened. Things happen in life. Things happen to all of us.
It's been a blessing. Like, I was able to travel and working on different projects, and it's just been a blessing for me. And so when people talk about that, I'm okay with it. And the higher I go up, the more they're going to talk about it.
Absolutely.
I get it.
Right.
Now that I'm connected with an international brand all about the tea, you get more haters. And I'm okay with it, because I'm growing. It could be no one talking about it, but now people are talking about it. And you're getting content, and we're learning, we're growing, and everything like that. So continue to talk, but I will continue to tell my story, no matter who want to listen, because it's going to help somebody. Because I can tell you, it's a lot of people that go through mentally. It's a lot of folks on the street, or broke, homeless, have mental illness. I see it daily. And so you need to hear this story so you can be inspired to say, okay, I'm feeling depressed. Let me get some help, instead of just saying, let me just go to church. Because what I did, church, Jesus. But yet I was still going through it. Yet I was still crying. I was still depressed. And so I needed Jesus as well as a therapist. I needed some treatment. So some of us, what we do, we go to church and we suppress it and all of that. And we don't want to go to a psychiatrist, because it's going to make me look weak.
It's a stigma attached to it in the Black community, and we don't talk about it. That's why I'm so proud of you. You went and got the help you needed. You got properly diagnosed. Now you're managing your mental health, and look at you today. You are you present yourself as highly intelligent. You speak very well. You're transparent. And I'm just so proud of you, Wiley. You have no idea. That library story inspires me. People like you inspire me. Do you know that?
Yes, and I'm glad you inspired me. And every day I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm here for it. I was like, okay, let me make sure I get the topics. Let me make sure I deliver, because this is a strong platform, and you put so much time and energy into this brand. And so for me to have this opportunity, I want to say thank you, because you just never know what other opportunities. I've met Buffy. Who was the other lady? Charmaine. She was a radio personality. So it's like I'm being around people that I never would have thought that I would be sitting down and having dialogue and talking about topics that I'm like, wow, thank you, because you didn't have to do that.
Life's amazing. And God, I don't believe he works in mysterious ways. I believe he works in deliberate ways.
Deliberate ways. I believe
praise him. Amen. Amen. All right, we're going to wrap things up, Wiley. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on YouTube, The Wiley Show, Instagram, The Wiley Show, Twitter, The Wiley Show. We're everywhere. And I want to say thank you to all the new teacups that's over there subscribing. God bless you. Thank you. We're on the road 20,000. And then once we reach that, we'll be on the road to 40,000. So I'm just here for it. I'm just glad that, I'm in Celebrity Gossip. We're talking about the topics and I'm here for it. So thank you. So we're everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, The Wiley Show.
I love it. And teacups, I want to please like and share this video and subscribe to All About the Tea. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight. We love you. Mods, my wonderful mods, the best mods on YouTube. Thank you for holding down the chat. Everyone that sent in a super chat or a cash app. I want to thank you so very much for helping me keep the lights on. I also want to thank Buffy Purcell, my sister, my friend, educator, financial expert, for joining us this evening and educating the masses. That was wonderful. I want everyone to stay safe and be blessed. Wiley and I'll be back here tomorrow night. Same time. Yeah, same time, same place, spilling more tea. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right.